Alright, so for our lesson 3, talking on risk and return. Alright, so in this chapter, we will learn about what is expected return, and then what is risk, and then how both of these are measured. Okay, further on, we'll look into the rates of return from the investors' experience, risk, diversification, and investors' required rate of return. What are all these? This could be something new to you. All right, what is expected return, and why is it so important to learn this? Okay, being a business student, you are actually putting together resources. All right, what is a business? A business compared to a normal job. Why do people do business instead of working from 9 to 5? Business is basically putting together resources to make money, to earn income. All right, you just need income to survive. So why want to go all the trouble to do business, and why do you even learn business? Okay, the main thing for business, as I said, is to put together resources. And how do you measure the performance of all these resources? How do you know whether your business is doing good or bad? When you work for other people, how do you know whether you are doing good or bad? Your boss will praise you, right? Your boss will say, "Oh, okay, Jenny, you are doing very well, so I will give you promotion." Okay, your boss tell you that. But doing a business, starting a business, you are your own boss. So who is going to tell you you are good or you are doing badly? Who? Very easy. Numbers will tell. And the most important numbers will be the expected return or returns. How do you know your business is doing well or not? You look at returns. Okay, I don't care whether you sleep or not, how many hours you spend every day in your business, or how many people you help in your business. No, not important. All important is the return. Okay, how do you measure return? Okay, to measure return, and return stands for the payoff during the holding period of an asset, and the holding period could be day, few weeks, or few years. Okay, so holding period of an asset. So when you start a business, you need to buy an asset, right? Let's say you start a taxi business. What's your asset? A car. And then what's your expense? To hire someone to drive the taxi. That is basically your asset and expense. If you open a restaurant, what is your asset? Your asset will be the kitchen utensils used to cook things. And what are your expenses? Are the ingredients as well as the chef. When you want to reduce your expense, you cook yourself. So basically, all these are important. Okay, so looking into holding period. Okay, holding period return or holding period gain in dollar. You want to look at the price at the end of the period. It can be 1 year, it can be 2 years. It depends when you want to measure your return. Okay, the price at the end plus any cash inflow in between minus the price at the beginning of the period. Okay, let me give you another example. You go into a property business. You buy and sell land. Okay, you buy and sell land. Very easy business. Buy land, sell land. Okay, so your business is you buy land. Okay, when you buy land, let's say you buy land for 100,000. Okay, you buy land for 100,000. So which one is this? This is considered as price at the beginning of the period. 100,000. Okay. So when you buy the land already, the land become yours. What can you do? You can do many things, right? So if you were to sell it straight away, how much can you sell? Usually you will sell at the same price, because when you buy, that is the market price. How can you sell higher? Usually at the moment it will be at 100,000. So you don't sell first. Maybe you plan to keep it for 2 years, 3 years before you sell. Okay, let's say you keep for 3 years. So you hold on to this land for 3 years doing nothing is a waste, right? So what do? You buy this land for 100,000, and then for the next 3 years you rent it to people. You may probably rent it to a farmer. Farmer will use your land to plant veggie. Okay, so you rent to farmer. The farmer pays you 5,000 every year just to use your land. Okay, so for 3 years, you will get how much? 5,000 every year. So how much do you get? All right, you get positive 5,000 per year. Okay, times 3 years. Okay, because every year you get rental. Okay, then the next thing is at the end of 3 years, then you see, wow, lockdown, MCO, or no more. Economy is getting better. Everyone start to come out from their house, they can travel again. So now you want to sell your land. All right. So you want to sell your land. You sell your land, you get the price, and then you finally found out that the price of your land now is how much? Maybe now you can sell for 150,000. Maybe lah. Okay, I'm just giving you a number. So you can sell for 150,000. Now you decide, do you want to sell? If yes, then you sell and then you make money. That's all. That's all. But it doesn't end there. So now, as I said, expected return is what? Expected return is to look at your performance. How well did you do for the past 3 years with the money of 100,000? So you are a businessman. You use 100,000 to do business. So after 3 years, what is your performance? Okay, so your performance will be like price at the beginning, at the end of the period, plus cash inflow minus price at the beginning. So what is the calculation? 150k, okay, plus cash inflow of 5,000 times 3. That means the rental of 3 years. Okay. All right. And minus how much? 100,000. Because that is how much you put in. All right. So how much in dollar? 150 plus 15 is 165 minus 100k is 65k. So in 3 years, you manage to make a return of 65,000. Okay, this is the holding period gain in dollar. Okay, what about the holding period return? I'm sorry, HPR. What is holding period return? This is holding period gain in dollar. This is 65, $65. Okay, $65. What is your holding period return? Return, your answer will be in percentage. So what percentage? What am I talking about? So the percentage will be, you take the 65,000, okay, that you calculated, divide by 100,000. What is 100,000? 100,000 is the amount of money you use to start your business. Okay, this is to compare your performance lah. So 65 divided by 100 is equals to, or divide by 100 times 100. Okay, to get percentage. So your answer would be 65%. What is 65%? So what it means is that for over 3 years, your business, you managed to earn 65% of the money that you put into your business. That means I put in 100,000 and 3 years I make back 65%. Okay? So that is simply what it means by holding period return. And this is also can be the expected return. So why do I say expected return? Okay, after 3 years, you sold off your land and then you're done, right? You no more land already. But what do you have? You have money, because you sold your land. So what can you do again? You can repeat the same process. That means 3 years later, you buy another land. Okay, you buy another land and you rent out for another 3 years. And after 3 years, you sell again. So what kind of performance you expect to get? You can expect to get a return of the same 65%. Assuming everything no change. That means every year land price will go up, so you can buy cheap, sell higher, and so on, kind of thing. So that is why the word expected return. Okay, the return you get is 65% in the past. So in the future, you are expected to make the same return. That is why it is called expected return. Okay, and this number here is something very useful in finance in order to do financial management. You want to manage company or business finances all using expected return. A very big thing. Yeah. All right. Any questions so far? You can take a snapshot if you want.
Teacher, does cash inflow same with cash flow?
Cash inflow is same as cash flow. Okay, cash flow is just a bit more general. Cash flow means cash moving. Okay, cash inflow means cash moving in to your pocket. Cash outflow means cash moving out from your pocket. But cash flow is very general. You don't know whether in or out.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is more specific. They say cash inflow. Cash inflow means you know, oh, money come in. All right. Okay, you can take a snapshot if you want. Yeah, I mean it's a bit confusing lah. But I've recorded this video, so if you need to view it again, you let me know. Okay, any questions from the floor? Chiang. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. So now there is another example. Okay, the another example is you see you just follow me with it. Just follow. You buy one share of DG $5 in January 2012, sell it for $7.50 in January 2013, 1 year. The company paid dividend for 1 cent every quarter during last year. So 1 year got 4 quarters. So holding period dollar gain is, how do we calculate? Ending price plus cash inflow minus beginning price. Right, beginning price. Okay, then they get the holding period dollar gain. The gain in dollar. The answer is in dollar. How about the holding period return? Rate of return, HPR here. Okay, what is the HPR? HPR, they simply use this, okay, divide by the price at the beginning of the period. So how much money they put in? $5. Okay, so the HPR is 50.8%. So let me compare just now. Just now my business is buy land, right? Sell land, right? 3 years, right? So that one holding period return is how much? 65%, correct? Let's say that one is A lah, Mr. A. This one here, this business is Mr. B. So A got a HPR of 65. B here got a HPR of, let's say 50.8%. So as I said again, what is HPR? What is the return for? Is to see the performance of the businessman, right? So if I compare businessman A and businessman B, which one is, sorry, I keep writing HRR. Supposed to be HPR. Why I keep writing HRR? HPR. Yeah. Okay, HPR. So businessman A and businessman B, if you compare their performance, who is better? It's A, right? Not to say that, oh, he's smarter, he's more lang zai, he work faster. No, I don't care about any of those. I only care for which one will be better in making money. If you look at A is better. Why? Because he's smarter. He managed to get a higher return. What it means is that 100 ringgit, he can make 65 ringgit. But B, this B guy, businessman B, 100 ringgit, he can only make 50 ringgit. So this is what return is for. Holding period return, the word return lah. Okay, this to see the performance of these business people. Okay, so the business they do is different. The first one, Mr. A do buying and selling land, right? So what about B? Is Mr. B is in a business of buying and selling share, 股票. Okay, buying and selling share is also a part of investment business lah. Okay, he can buy DG. DG is a company. He can buy the company share. And then after that, 1 year later, he sell the company share. Okay, the only difference is Mr. B is in a business that use less money. You can see how much money he put in. He only put in 5 ringgit. Can you buy land for 5 ringgit? You cannot, right? So the difference between A and B is A is in a bigger scale of business. They have to buy land. Land costs about $100,000. But B, going into a small business, all right, is buying something 5 ringgit, selling something for 750. So if he want to put more money, he can buy more. Right? So let's say, very easy. How do you apply this into your business? Let's say we talk about Miss C, Makcik C lah, C. C is also a business person. What business they do? They sell goreng pisang, fried banana. Okay, so how do you see the return of a fried banana? You said, hey, a fried banana, it's a very simple business. Buy banana, sell banana. No, you can also apply expected return. And if you know about expected return, you can maximize your return even just by selling banana. How? Let's say you buy banana for, let's say you buy banana for 4 ringgit. Okay, 4 ringgit. And then every banana you fry, you sell for, let's say RM 10 ringgit. Means 4 ringgit banana, 4 ringgit banana you buy, you can sell for 10 ringgit. Okay, And any cash flow in between? Maybe no. You just buy, fry, and sell. Okay, buy, fry, and sell. So what is your return? Your return is basically 10 minus 4, right? 10 minus 4. How much? 6. Holding period dollar gain is 6. What about the HPR, return? So you take 6, divide by how much? The cost of buying, 4. How much? 6 over 4, 150%, right? So what is 150%? That means if I put in $100, I will make back $150. So if you compare A, B, and C, who is better? C will be a better business. You can see that. Why? Because C makes a much higher return. Clear or not? All of you. Do you get a feel of what this holding period return is all about? Can I? Yeah, so and maybe finance is something not for you. Calculation is something that you don't like. But of course, when you do business, your only focus in return, profitability. So you have to know this, whether what business is best. You don't care lah whether you like this business or not. See ABC, you think that buy share, sell share, wow, very good lah. Buy land, sell land, like very good lah. In the end, who is making more money? Who is making better returns? The one who fried banana, because he's making 150% return. Buy banana for 4 ringgit, sell for 10 ringgit, the return is 150%. Right? So you can see why within these few years, right, you can see a lot of bubble tea shop. So when one time my friend and I we were walking around Cheras Trader Square. There are a lot of bubble tea shop. One point in time, almost 10 bubble tea shop, 10 bubble tea, a lot. So we walk and we not one day but every day we try a different shop. And then when we buy, right, when we will stand there and count the number of customer at the shop. Then we count the number of customer, and then we see every customer buy 1 or 2 cups. Then we calculate how many cups they sell per day. All right, and then we look at how many staff they have, and then we guess the rental how much, and then we guess the cost of one bubble tea cup, and then we calculate everything, and then we at the end we calculate the return. One bubble tea shop, what is the return? Surprisingly, the return is quite good. Okay, the return is quite good. That is why so many people suddenly want to sell bubble tea. But of course, when there are more and more bubble tea shop, the return will reduce, right? Do you know why the return will drop? You want to take a guess? When there are more and more bubble tea shop, why the return will become lesser and lesser? Correct. You are right, Jenny. Let's say if you are the only bubble tea shop, and everyone like to go to your bubble tea shop, maybe 1 hour you get 20 customer. Okay, 20 customer. Then suddenly another shop appear. Another shop appear. So if the capacity is 20 customer per hour, you will have to share the customer with other brand. That means 20 people come, they say, maybe 10 will decide, let's try the other one. So your yes, maybe when you are the only one, your return will be high. But when there are more and more opening up, there are more alternative, more choices to other people. So you are exactly correct. Competitors will grab a share of your return. Okay, and then in the end, you will see that out of 10, right, after 1 or 2 years, it become 5. Why? Because the 5 remaining, the 5 not so good one, maybe at first everyone get a fair share of 10% return. And then people drink already, people all prefer only 5. The other 5 cannot, no customer. So from 10% return, they will slowly become 5 and slowly become 0. That means the number of customer who go there is not enough for them to pay for the rental, and then they will close shop. So 5 of them close shop, left 5, then the 5 will survive lah. Why? Because they manage to share the rate of return and still make profit. Then the 5 will remain. So this is the supply and demand of the business and how the rate influence the business. All right. So this is just return. Okay, I try to link as much as possible lah to business, because otherwise, if I just talk numbers like that, it will be very boring for you, right? Okay, so moving forward, uh, financial management is not just to calculate, but it is also to predict. So you calculate what has happened, you also want to predict what will happen in the future. All right, so that is why the word expected cash flow and expected return comes in. Okay, moving forward. Now, just now, I gave you a very simple example. That means I buy something and then hold it, and then during the few years, I will get cash inflow, and then after 3 years, I sell, I make profit, and then I calculate the return. Okay, that is a perfect scenario. But in the real world, things are not so perfect. That means in that 3 years, many things can happen, right? Or not 3 years, even 1 year, many things can happen. That means now I buy a land, then I hold it for 1 year. But what happened now? FMCO, full MCO, lockdown. So will people still want to rent my land or not? Okay, will people still want to rent my land? Or don't talk about land lah. Let's easier lah. We go into bubble tea business lah. Okay, 奶茶. Now I just open a shop. I just put in 100,000, open a shop to sell bubble tea. All right. Now lockdown, FMCO for 2 weeks, and then we don't know how long it will go. Maybe it can go for half a month, 1 month, or maybe half a year, or maybe one whole year. But I already paid my rental for 1 year. Okay, 1 year. So for the next 1 year, I cannot just say that, oh, I will have inflow of so and so. No, I will draw out 3 different possibilities. Okay, that means I will predict what will happen to my business if scenario 1, scenario 2, and scenario 3 happen. Okay, so now lockdown, and then 1 year later, so I don't know whether my business will be doing badly, doing normally, or doing much better. Everyone stay at home, never go out, like to buy uh, milk tea at home, delivery to drink, then I get a very good response. But if let's say many people lose their job, no income, and then they have no mood to drink bubble tea, then recession, then nobody will buy my milk tea. So I divide it into 3 possible outcome. Okay, the I put 50% that most likely 50% it will be good business because people don't do anything and then they want to drink milk tea. There is also 30% possibility 可能性 possibility that people will treat it as normal. Buy and don't drink and drink is normal. Or 20% of people will possibility that 20% uh, will happen that people don't drink. Okay, so bad, normal, and good. 3 outcome. I just predict lah. So if reaction business is bad, I will get a $1,000 cash flow. Business is normal, I get 1,200 cash flow. And if business is good, I will get 1,004 cash flow for the year. All right. So if let's say I invest, I put in $10,000 to start the business. I put in $10,000 to start my business. So my HPR, okay, my HPR, straight away we calculate HPR lah, or return lah, we call it return, is the return divided by the investment. Okay, investment. So it can be 1,000, it can be 1,002, it can be 1,004. All right, so if it is good, then I will get 14% return. Is this a good businessman or is it earn 14% during a lockdown? Very good businessman. Actually, now when we talk about lockdown and bad business, actually we don't look at 50%, 60% return anymore. Just now was just an example. Now, even if you can get 14 to 20% is considered very good. All right, because most you can see out there, right? A lot of business are facing problem, closing down, right? A lot of business close down. Why they close down? Because they are probably making negative return. That means their cash flow is negative. That means they open shop, they pay rental, everything, but no business, right? Very very easy. When let's say you open you sell shirt, you sell shirt in shopping mall. Now you have to pay rental to open the shop, but cannot open because shopping mall all closed, right? People cannot go. So you are actually making negative. And then if you negative all the way, then until you got no more money, then you go bankrupt. So I would say that if we use this as a during these bad times, 14% is very good. Actually, 10% is also very good. But this is normal period lah. Okay. Okay. So this is return. All right. This is return. So when we want to look at expected return or expected cash flow, the word expected, we don't only look at one scenario. We don't only look at strong. We don't only do that. As a smart businessman, we have to consider all three. We have to consider bad scenario, normal scenario, and good scenario. We have to consider all this. So as I said, if I don't know whether business will be bad, normal, or good, then I have to consider all three. How do you consider all three? Okay, I put the word expected here and I take the possibility of all three. So what is the possibility of doing bad? 20%, right? 0.2. What is the possibility of doing normal? 0.3, right? And what is the possibility of going strong? 0.5. I take that times with the return. that they will get. Okay, so it's just now it shows that if it's bad, the return is 1,000. Normal return is 1,002. Strong, the cash flow or the return in dollar is 1,004. You times and plus all these, you get an expected cash flow of 1,260. Okay, so 1,260 is not saying that, oh, this year I open a bubble tea shop, I will surely earn 1,260 if I invest 10,000 to open a shop. I surely will make 1,200. No matter the business is good, bad, or normal, I will make 1,002. It doesn't mean that. It simply means that, oh, I invest 10,000 to open a shop. My expected is around 1,260. It can be more or it can be less than 1,260. You understand? 1,260 is not the actual amount 不是正确的是大概。Okay? Okay, any questions so far? No. Clear or not? Clear or not? You understand everything or not so far? Jiang okay Jenny? Good. Alright, so I would say we are in page 7. I'm going slow, but I think we are all enjoying this. Can we have a short break and then we continue after the break? Alright, so we take about 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe we'll be back in 150, 155 like that. Okay, can So I'll see you in 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, have a short break. All right, welcome back. If you are back, just give me a raise of hand. All right, thank you. Okay, thank you. So, continuing, when we talk about the word expected cash flow, out of this 10,000 that you put in, your expected cash flow is 1,260. So this is in dollar. All right, and as I said, 10,000 you invest in your business, it doesn't mean that you will definitely make 1,260. No, it is just an expected, approximate. In Chinese 我们讲大概啦，大概。But why and how do you come with 1,260? We consider the worst case, I will get 1,000. Normal case, I get 1,200. And the best case, I get 1,400. And the percentage of all three happening. Okay, and all these two information, I expect I will get a cash flow of 1,260. And to come up with this number, you need this financial knowledge. Okay? Or else, how do you come up with 1,260? People will say, hey, how you count 1,260? Then you just explain that you take this times this, plus this times this, plus this times this. And you get the approximate, the expected value. Okay, moving forward. Now we, instead of looking at expected cash flow, okay, you have to explain like that. 1,260 on investment of 10,000. So long, right? How about shorten the explanation, make it more easy for people to understand? Make it easier for people to understand. How? You turn it into percentage. How do you turn it into percentage? You take probability of outcome times the expected return in percentage. So instead of taking this times this, right? Instead of doing this and then plus this times this plus this times this, instead of doing this, okay, this one we get expected cash flow, right? So now we are going to do expected return. We take this times this times this plus with this times this. Okay, so what do we get? We get about the same. We get 12.6%. All right, you get the point, huh? You see, 12.6%. So imagine this answer, 12.6% expected return compared to expected cash flow of this. You see, this answer is so long. You said, as a boss, my expected cash flow is 1,260 on investment of 10,000. This is one way you can answer. Or another way, you just said that my business this year is expected to make a 12.6% return. That's all. So your investment can be 10,000, can be 100,000, can be 1 million. That means you don't need to just open one shop. You can open 2 shops, 3 shops, 4 shops, even 10 or 100 shops. your return is expected to be 12.6%. That means if I put in $100, I will get $12.60. If I put in $1,000, I will get about $120. Right? If I put in 10,000, I will get about 1,260. If I put in 100,000, 1,000,000, and so on, then that's my return. So it's a more flexible answer, which is the expected return. So now, the next is the more important thing. Whenever you go out and when you graduate, you will be faced with a lot of decision making. That means when you start working, you got money, when you got income, right? A lot of opportunities will come to you. Let's say once you have a lot of money, you think that you want to start a business. All right. And apart from business, maybe some friends will come to you with some business proposal, some business collaboration, partnership, want to partner with you, and some even have some business idea. Okay, and some will attract you through high return. So they know you understand what is return. So they come to you, they say, hey Jenny, you want to make 200% return or not? Then you remember back, you learn 200% means $100 can make you $200. Wow, very good. You always learn about 10%, 15%, 16%, but now got 200% return. Okay, another quick example, you go to gamble, to let's say buy number. You buy number, 4-digit number lah, you buy Toto, those kind 赌钱 lah, buy number. You buy how much? I think 2 ringgit. You buy 2 ringgit one number. Let's say you buy 8888, and then you buy 2 ringgit. And then next day, really 8888 come out. And then you earn how much? About 20,000. Then you say, don't need to work lah. Just buy number can get rich. Why? Because 2 ringgit can earn you 2,000. It is about 1,000% return. Right? It's very good. But now we don't want to just talk about return because it's unfair. If you talk only about return, then of course gambling is good, right? We have to also consider the portion of risk. That means we don't just look at return, because return only talk about making money. What about risk? Risk is what is the probability of you losing money. Alright? 你可以讲 just now 大概可以赚1200，大概approximate. But what is the probability that your estimate will go wrong? Right? Like you come and study, you say, 大概2年毕业。Expected time to finish 2 years. Okay, that is if you study. What if during the 2 years you don't study, you fail, you retake, you fail, you retake, then you took 3 years, right? That is a risk that you might face, that something bad that might not that you didn't expect to happen. So this is risk. Risk is actually the danger, the uncertainty that might happen. Okay, so second, so I said that, okay, you make a return of this one, you got risk. But how do you put risk into number? Let's say you say, now I want to do business to sell, what do you call? To sell, what business we have? To sell clothing. You want to open a boutique shop, sell shirt. You say, I calculate the return is very high, sell shirt. Yes, return is high. But what about the danger? Did you talk about the risk? That means return of selling shirt is high, correct? But during this time, people cannot go out to buy shirt. And the reason why do people want to buy shirt? They also cannot go out. Lockdown, why do they need to buy new shirt? Every day at home, don't need to buy new shirt, what, right? So there are risks in all businesses, especially business. Business have high risks. Okay? So how do you compare in terms of risk? We don't talk about return now. We talk about risk. Risk is uncertainty. Uncertainty. Okay, we see 1 and 2 here. You got money and you can put your money in 1 and 2. 1 is you put your money in a treasury bill that offers a 3% annual return. Treasury bill is a government borrowing. That means, let's say government, your country need money. So they sell you a bill, they sell you a paper, and this paper will give you 3% return. That means you buy for $100, after 1 year you will get $3. That is your return. Okay? That is your interest, that is your return. $3 out of 100. You can say, hey, this one very low. Okay, never mind, very low. So we look at the second alternative. You can put money in a stock, okay, 买股票 of a local company with expected return of 15% based on the payoff. Okay, now you can put your money here, and instead of 3%, you can make 15%. Wow, very good, you say. So good, high return. That means if I put $100, after 1 year, I'll get $15. So much higher. Of course, I choose 2. Of course, I choose number 2, right? Of course, I choose this, higher return. But when, let's say, you confirm and you put your money into number 2, after 1 year, local publishing company, publishing means like printing. Okay, printing. Let's say after 1 year, this publishing company bankrupt, no more. So what happened to your $100? Gone, no more. So you say, I thought I learned return 15% means after 1 year I will get $15. How come become 0? Okay, now we bring in the element of risk. You see 1 and 2. 1 is considered as 0 risk. Why? Because the government borrow from you. How come the government cannot pay you back? The government can sure pay you back. So this one, the risk is 0. This one, the risk is, I don't know how much, but it's definitely not 0. So of course, this is low return, but it comes with a 0 risk. But number 2, it comes with a high return, 15%, but of course, it comes with a risk. Okay, 风险. Okay, risk of not only not getting the earnings, not only getting the return, no return, but you also will lose your money. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look. Okay, the expected return. We in order to see the risk, we have to take a look at the return first. Okay, so Treasury bill, the expected return is 3%. Why? Because the probability to get 3% is 100%. So 你100%一定会拿到 3% return. 100% confirm you will get 3%. So there is no question here. Okay, no need to be uncertain. 100% certain you will get 3%, 100%. However, for this stock, right, got a lot of possibility. There is 10% no return. 20% likely it will get 5% return. Okay, 40%, 20% and 10% likely, it will get the return of 15, 25, and 30. So 很多可能性啊, a lot of. So you add them all together, you add them, this plus this plus this plus this plus this. Okay, you get the expected return of 15. So expected return, as I said again, is it confirmed? No 啊，我是讲大概 estimate, approximate. Estimate, I expect I will get 15%. 可以更多，也可以更少。Can be more, can be less. Okay, not confirm, but expect. Okay. So is this better or is this better? So now we go into talking more about it. So what can we observe from the expected return of Treasury Bill versus stock? If we want to compare only through return, expected return, we say that stock is better than bill, right? We just want to say return. Stock is better than bill. Okay? If you only look at return, I don't care about risk. I only want to look at return. Then stock, of course, better than bill. But if you want to look at risk, then you will say that bill, you want to look at risk, we want to say stock is also higher than bill. Risk, 风险. Okay, so return, we look at return, stock higher than bill. Which one we prefer? We prefer stock. Okay, because higher return. But we look at risk. Do you want a high risk or low risk? 风险. Risk is not good, so we want a lower risk. When we look at risk, we take bill. Okay, so now the decision is split. Return, stock better. Risk, bill better. So now you are confused. So how should I take stock or bill? I don't know which one I should put my money. Now I got money, I don't know which one to put to buy, bill or stock. Okay, now the next step is we want to go into calculating risk. Okay, then I say, hey, risk is higher. Stock, stock, stock got high risk. Okay, stock got high risk. But how to say stock high risk? So actually there is a formula to calculate. Okay, what is the formula? The formula is using sigma. This sign here is sigma. Sigma is also called as standard deviation. Okay, standard deviation. What is the formula? The formula is, okay, the formula is square root of sum of, okay, the sum of probability, okay, is it probability? No. Sum of the return minus expected return square times with the probability. Okay, see the formula? It simply means that how to calculate risk. Okay, 风险是怎样算的 Square root sum of open bracket return of the first possibility minus expected return. Expected return we calculate just now stock ER equals to, we calculate already is 15%, right? We know that the return is high, but we know that this is expected only. expected. So square times with the probability of this were happening. So see the how this one all put into numbers, you can see here. Okay, here. Sigma equals to 0% minus 15%. 0% minus 15% means what? The return minus expected return. 0% minus 15% square times 10, 0.1. 0.1 is the possibility of this happening. Okay? Okay, going on second one, plus, because sum, plus 5% minus 15%, why? Return minus expected return square times with the possibility of this happening. So 你买股票有5个可能性. You buy a stock, there's 5 possibility to happen. One is 10%, it will get 0% return. 20% likelihood, it will get 5% return. 40% likely, you will get 50% return. 20% likely, you will get 25%, and 10% likely, you will get high return. Okay, you do business. Stock is like doing business. You don't know whether you will get good or bad outcome. So we have to consider all possible outcome. And out of all this, they found out is 9.22%. What do we understand is this? Risk is 9.22%. But now they say that risk is relative. Risk is relative means it's very hard to say 9.22 is high or low. Okay? 9.22 I ask you lah. 风险是 9.22 9.22. Is this high risk or low risk? You cannot answer me, ma. Right? You cannot answer me because you have to compare with others. Then only you know that it is high or low. It's just an example lah. Feng Chiang, I said that you are tall. Can I say that you are tall without comparing you with others? I didn't compare you with your friends, but I said you are tall. Cannot, ma? I have to compare you with your friends, then I know whether you are tall or short. So same thing with this stock. We cannot say it's high risk or low risk because we never compare with anyone. Okay? We need to compare it with another one of investment to determine whether it is high or low. Otherwise, we just accept it as 9.22. Okay? So in order to get the full picture to make decision, we have to compare not only with risk, but we also have to compare with the return. Okay? Alright? Alright, so what it means. Okay, so now we got two investment. One is bill. Okay? Bill. What is the expected return? Expected return, I can also put this side. Mu or mean. Okay? 3%, right? What about the standard deviation? 0, right? No risk. It is like bank account. You put in money, you sure get 3%. 2 is stock. This one is I put mu. The return is 15%, right? High. But what about the standard deviation? What about the risk? It's about 9.22%. Wow. So what it means? So you cannot compare, right? You cannot compare, hard to compare. But what I simply want to finalize before we end here is that it simply means that if I put money in bill, I will get 3% return, and there is no question about it. There is no uncertainty about it. Okay? 没有大概，肯定。Because there is zero likelihood it will be different. It will be higher or lower? No. It will not be higher or it will not be lower. Zero. It will 100% be 3% return. But if I buy a stock, I put my money in stock as a business, 我大概 likely to get 15% return. Okay? 大概. But my 15% return, okay, my expected return, I can be higher or lower by 9.22%. 我可以 my return can actually be higher than 15% by 9.22%, or it can be lower than 15% by 9.22%. It can be higher, it can be lower. So 可能好，可能不好。This is the uncertainty that we want to know. Okay, there could be another one, 3. Okay, stock. The third stock. Third stock. Okay, third stock. The meal, this is just, I come up with this lah. 15%. Return is the same. Standard deviation is 10%. Okay, if I let you choose number 2 or number 3, which one will you choose? 2 or 3? The answer is 2 is better. Why? Because the risk is lower than stock number 3. You get it? Because stock number 3, the return is 15%. Same. But the standard deviation or the risk, or also known as the uncertainty, is higher, which is 10%. So if the return is the same, of course I go with something with the lower risk. But if we compare 1 and 2, which is better? This one we cannot say, because it's up to you as the businessman. Do you want to go for zero risk, or do you want to take risk and get slightly higher return? This is up to the businessman. If the businessman is very scared of taking risk, we call that risk averse, scared of risk, then he will choose 1. If this businessman do not mind taking risk, like to take risk, then he will go for number 2. Okay, so this is very subjective. But what you need to understand is how to quantify risk in order to make financial decision. Okay, you can take a snapshot here before I switch slide. Do you have any question? Okay, guys, everyone, any question? No question. Chiang, no question. Jenny, no question. So do you understand everything so far? Okay, yeah? Trying to understand. Okay, I think, wait, let me stop recording.